As a matter of fact, Turkish entrepreneurs are very familiar with the business angel investment system. In 1960s, Germany opened its doors to Turkish individuals who like to work in the industries of Germany. And beginning from 1960s, Turkish people started to work as a matter of fact, in Germany. And those workers produced so many marks in Germany. And they began sending those marks to Turkey for investing. And every family in Turkey has a relative working not just in Germany, in Europe, in France, in Austria, in Denmark, in Sweden. And by time, those workers began changing their worker style to the entrepreneurship style. And especially their children, the second term of the families in Europe, became entrepreneurs. And they mainly began investing to business ideas in Turkey. So, what was missing was they didn't have a regular business plan. Their source of money was not coming from entrepreneurship, so their money was very valuable. And what they were doing was, as a matter of fact, a business angel investment, but they didn't know that. They were not aware of the fact that they were angel investors. But by time, beginning from 1980s, of course, Turkey opened its doors to the world, and by 1990s especially, the business plan system came on board. Not just the idea, but preparing a business plan was something, it was a must for running a business. So what happened now, government took the entrepreneurship as one of the first few items that has to be taken in the development plans of Turkey. There are two plans in Turkey. Development plan, the short-term and medium-term programs. And within those programs, what was defined was the fact that entrepreneurs who had business ideas in Turkey was not able to reach to the financial sources so easily. So, limited access to financial resources and to advisory services were the two main problems of those two national plans. As a matter of fact, of course, while taking entrepreneurship and business angel system into consideration, we also have to underline the differences between the mentalities of the entrepreneurs in Turkey and in the world. One of the challenging approach, for example, to a franchise system is quite different from Turkish entrepreneurs' point of view. McDonald's is saying, I have 5,000 branch offices all over the world, and McDonald's is an entrepreneur who is proud of this. On the other hand, you can easily see when you visited, especially in Istanbul, the baklava or kebab salons, there's a paper on the wall saying that we don't have any branch office anywhere in the world. This entrepreneur is also proud of this. So two different mentalities to the entrepreneurship, as a matter of fact. So what we feel now that business angel system is also going to change, bring a very different approach to making business in Turkey. Why? Because generally, it is very difficult to make a business partnership in Turkey among entrepreneurs. Why? Because generally, anyone who sets up his own company is dreaming that their children are going to be the CEOs of that company in the future. And they are organizing the company so that they will never exit, and that company will always be successful in the future. So, business angel system is bringing the exit strategy with itself. There's a very new strategy for Turkish entrepreneurs. So what we are observing that when you face with an entrepreneur who wants to make who likes to pitch their businesses, and when we asked when we will be able to exit, he is very surprised with this question. He says never. Because we will be so successful and we will make so much money. So we won't need to exit from that business. So that strategy or that approach to setting up companies, especially at the startup businesses, is changing. We need a little time for this. What we do now as the association, we underline the importance of business angel investment system. What we did, for example, while setting up the franchise association in Turkey in 1991, one of the few associations of the world franchise structures, there were 80%. The market players, 80% were the foreign franchise systems. Just 20% of them were the Turkish franchise systems. Now, 20 years passed, and what happens when you check the members of Turkish Franchise Association? You are able to easily see that 80% of the members are Turkish franchise systems, and 20% of the members are coming from abroad. So, US President called a summit on entrepreneurship last year, and I just want to highlight how importance is given to entrepreneurship issue at the highest level of policy makers in Turkey. Mr. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Prime Minister of Turkey, sent a letter to Mr. US President and wanted to hold the second World Entrepreneurship Summit in Turkey. And Obama announced that in his opening speech of the summit, and in October, most probably, the second World Entrepreneurship Summit will be held in Turkey. To US President's calling, there were 62 countries who attended the summit, but there we faced with just one invitation of a prime minister. It was a Turkish prime minister, which shows how importance given to entrepreneurship from the policy maker status, as a matter of fact. The government launched a special program for supporting entrepreneurs in Turkey. Small Businesses Development Agency is going to give a training for entrepreneurs any entrepreneurs who likes to get that training will be able to reach to this training in 81 cities of Turkey, free of charge, by the way. And the capacity is 10,000 entrepreneurs. And until the end of the year, 10,000 entrepreneurs will have a certificate from Small Businesses Development Agency, and they will be completed 60 hours programs of entrepreneurship. And at the end of that program, with this certificate, if their business plan is approved with the city commission, then approximately $15,000 donation will be given by the government for setting their businesses. And 70,000 lira, which is approximately $50,000 credit, without interest will be given to those entrepreneurs again. As a matter of fact, maybe those entrepreneurs will be in a position to become their own business angels. Turkish Business Angels Association set up an agreement with the Development Bank of Turkey to see the problems of entrepreneurship ecosystem in Turkey. In Turkey, there are 48 banks. 44 banks are private banks. 4 of them are the government-based banks. Development Bank of Turkey is a government bank, and what we observed while making the discussions with the bank's headquarters about developing such kind of an program for entrepreneurs, we understood that private banks don't want to give a support, especially to early stage businesses. So we had just 4 banks that we had to discuss the issue very well, and Development Bank of Turkey believed in the project, and now Development Bank of Turkey has allocated a 60 million euro in Turkey for venture capital businesses, and most probably an amount of that business of this fund will be spent for business angel investments. I don't want to read each details here. However, the presentation is on this computer. Anyone can take this from here, or I can send it by email. But the Co-Investment Fund of Turkey is a model proposal that we have proposed to the Treasury Department of the state in cooperation with Development Bank of Turkey. But we called the Co-Investment Fund as Regional Fund for Entrepreneurship and Innovation in Turkey and Middle East and nearby countries. Why we called it like that? Because at the end of the summit in DC, Mrs. Clinton announced that a $2 billion investment will be for the Middle East countries' innovative ideas, and we are going to make the Regional Fund for Entrepreneurship and Innovation in Turkey and Middle East and nearby countries will be a platform to use that fund for the entrepreneurs, not just in Turkey, but in Middle East countries. The system is going to work like that. Entrepreneurship and Innovation Fund. The fund, as a matter of fact, will have 4 components: from public, international financial institutions, commercial banks, and investment banks. However, when we said the commercial banks, Development Bank of Turkey is ready to fund, at least to initiate this fund. And business ideas will come from universities, from the public, and from technoparks, etc. And education and training, consulting, and business angels will come together to realize the project of the entrepreneurs. This is a summary of the system that we are trying to set up in Turkey. And Development Bank of Turkey's telephone number and the responsible persons details are here also, and anyone who likes to visit the website of our association or the Development Bank of Turkey will find more details about the system. Women entrepreneurship is another concept that the policymakers are following the issue very well. And for women, there are extra supports of the government, And if a woman wants to set up his own enterprise, then she will be able to get the benefit of using different tax rates from the government. And I'd like to end my presentation by stating two items. Yesterday, one of the participants asked a question to the panel makers, that if Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook.com would be studying in Portugal, then would he be able to make and succeed the Facebook? And I couldn't hear a clear answer to this question, as a matter of fact, yesterday. I want to share my personal view about this question, because that's an important question, because that's the question, as a matter of fact, not just for Portugal, for approximately 150 countries everywhere in the world. We are facing such kind of questions. For example, my answer is yes, he would create Facebook even he would be studying in Portugal. How I am sure from that, especially in IT and mobile technologies, it is very easy to produce the correct business project and to reach to the investors. Why? For example, thanks to AngelSoft, you are able to use the system online, and you are able to reach any investor anywhere in the world immediately. For example, when I was in Warsaw, I met with a Portuguese guy, and who had an excellent mobile technology idea. For example, as a personal investor, I will have a meeting tomorrow morning to conclude our investment strategy. So from Turkey, I am coming to Portugal, and I am able to make the investment in Portugal, or with a Portuguese entrepreneur, we are going to develop the project in Turkey. So that's possible. Wherever you were born, it is not important. What the important thing is the idea, business idea. And if you are the correct entrepreneur, and if you are holding the correct entrepreneurship project, then it is very easy to find the investors from all over the world. I want to end my words by thanking to Paulo and Francisco for their kind contributions to the membership of Turkish Business Angels Associations while becoming the World Business Angels Association member and IBAN member. Our Portuguese friends' kind contributions is an important and unforgettable fact for our association, and thanks for your listening to me.